Well, welcome back, my friends, all to another rousing rendition of Choir Boys Outdoors. Today, we've got the Molsect Orbit. Now, Molsect's a new company. Big shout out, listen, huge shout out to Fabster Run. I'm going to link him in the description. He's the guy who hooked me up with Molsect. Awesome guy. He's also got a design coming from them. I have really started to enjoy doing these knives. Now, this is the Molsect Orbit. It's got G10 handle scales, 14C 28N steel. It is a front flipper. I am not a front flipper guy, and that's not because I don't like it. It's just because I'm not good at it. And you know how that goes. But listen, let's go over stats. We'll talk about that a little bit more. The more I have played with it, the more I see how it can kind of become a fidget thing. I'll say this about Molsect. They have done a great job with their QC, right? The fit and finish on every one has been damn near perfect for what I'm looking for. Now, everybody has different standards. I am a function guy. I am function over form every time. So what I wanted to do here is just we cut up all kind of stuff in this video. The knife handled it insanely well. I like 14C 28N. The blade shape is aggressive looking. I like that. It's got two nice spullers on it. Looks like a flat grind. Just a very well done knife. This to me is a gentleman's carry. It's a liner lock. And with all of these, guys, when I do these videos, with all of them, all I do is ask you, or all I want you to do is just watch the knife work, right? I'm not the QVC. I'm not trying to convince you. I'm hoping that I can give you the best look that I can so you can make up your own mind. It looks like, now, I always pull my own measurements. Sometimes that's good, sometimes it's bad. The overall length is 7¼ inches. The blade length on this bad boy is right at, let's see if we can pull it, and we're going from the top of the handle to the tip. It looks like we've got 1, 2, 3, looks like 3¼ inches on the blade, probably a 3-inch cutting edge, I would say. And let me just double check just to make sure. Yeah, well, about 3 1/8. Let's go 3 1/8 on the blade length, and let's say 2 7/16, 2 15/16, 2 15/16 on the cutting. So you've got 3 1/8 on the blade length, 2 15/16 on the cutting edge. The blade stock is about, looks like 1/8, just under an 1/8 inch thick. Really came really sharp, and I like that. The front flipper, I have never been much of a front flipper guy, but I've never really taken the time to kind of learn it. These past few days, I've carried the Orbit, and I think they named it just because of the lines, kind of a cosmic lines type deal. But I'm going to tell you something. It's a good looking knife. I like the way they did that gray G10 right there. The front flipper, the more I use it, and I keep starting on it, and I move off. And if you've been around the channel any length of time, you know I'll do that. I've gotten to where I've enjoyed it. I've played with it all day. Now, I'm still not any good at it. Okay, so I'm not going to lead you astray. You're not going to see me become a front flipper aficionado overnight, but I enjoy it on this knife. Everything is smooth. It has a nice drop shut to it. It opens smoothly. You can open one hand. To me, that is king, and I have to say that. I'm a big one-handed, one-closed opening guy because of the work that I do. Now, the closed length on this knife is 4 inches. Okay, so you've got about 4 inches of handle there. Right by the blade, the handle is 1 inch and 3/16 wide, 1 inch and 3/16 wide. Down at the other end, it's 3/4 inches. So you've got a reverse taper where it tapers up towards the blade. But I like that because I control it. Here we're doing the Donnie B all day drop test. We'll do the throw it at the stump test. With a pocket knife, when I'm doing this, it is to check the tip some. the balance a little bit, but it's also to check the lock. This is a liner lock. There are times that a liner lock will fail or close on you. That's why I like throwing it at the stump. It didn't fail at all. It's got some light jimping right where the blade begins. I like that. But overall, the things that I like about it, it's a deep carry pocket clip. Molsect does not do a lot of billboarding. You'll see it on their pocket clip, and that's about it. The pivot screw will be their emblem, but again, that's about it. It does have a place for a lanyard hole. It's an open construction. Feels really good in hand, and again, it's just a damn good looking knife. It handled everything we threw at it and more. This isn't a bash 'em crash 'em knife. This is going to be a gentleman's carry. It's going to be a weekend, a Sunday go to meeting, but I've enjoyed it, man. I really, really have. Anytime you got a sharp knife, you can make that sumbitch look good. And speaking of sharp, look at old Scab here. I weighed in at 237 3 mornings in a row. Now that's right at, what is that, 83 pounds lost since January 16th. Feeling pretty good. Kind of reminds me of this knife. You could call old Scab the orbit of the man world. You know what I'm saying? We're both just that damn good looking. The other thing I like about the knife, it's 4 inches closed, right? But it fits nicely in your pocket. You barely know it's there. It has a good balance point, a good weight to it. It's easy to open. It's easy to close. And when I say that, I'm saying that after telling you I am not a front flipper guy. It still has really, really good action. You can open it. You can use the fuller as a neck clip if you wanted to. There's just a couple of different ways you can open it. I found that it has a great clip as far as where it hooks to your pants. It hooks securely. It hooks nicely, but it doesn't bite. It's not going to eat up your pants. And again, that color, man, it's just that nice, it's almost like a slate gray, right? It's just a really, really good looking color. Here we're just playing around with the knife some. I got to work this morning and I was just out messing around doing the same thing. We've got bushes up by the shop. I needed to clear a little area to lay some rails with just some weeds. This little knife took them out quickly. I was impressed. So were the guys standing around. It hits above its weight, but right here is where we go into the control aspect. It's very easy to control. It's fun to whittle with. I've done that a lot today too. Just kind of walked around, picked up sticks on break and at lunch and just kind of in between jobs. It's fun to whittle with. Really, really good edge on it. Been very impressed overall. Would I carry it? Yes, absolutely. And I probably will. I'm thinking about sending some of these to Randy's WSG. Shout out to him. Let him check them out. I'd always like to give a real pocket knife guy a shot at looking at them. And we might do that. But shout out to Fabster Run. Shout out to Randy's. And listen, there was a time in this country where 22 vets a day took their own lives. Now, stats are everywhere. Coming off the weekend, it was higher. That's why on this channel, we focus on the number 0. Anything over 0 is simply unacceptable. Vets, we love you. You have a place here. Guys, I back the blue. It's not popular. I don't do it to be popular, and I don't shove it down your throat. That is something that I believe in, and I don't ask anyone else to, but I do. Finally, if you are an addict, then I am. Never quit quitting. Well, the Orbit Molsect knives, guys, the more that I do with these, the more impressed I get. They're very, very consistent. I'll put a link to them in the description. I'm Scab. You're not.